see how we can write different formulas to a compound. The first one is molecular formula. Molecular formula, until now we saw what we wrote is molecular formula. That is for ethane, the molecular formula is C2H6. For methanol, I will tell you how we can name this compound in nomenclature later. Methanol, it is CH3OH. Like this, writing the formula is called molecular formula. The second one is empirical formula. This gives the ratio of the atoms present in the molecule. Let us take the example of ethane, C2H6. Here the ratio of number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms is 2:6. That is 1:3. So the empirical formula of ethane would be CH3, 1:3. This gives the simplest ratio of the number of atoms present in a compound. 2:6. The simplest ratio would be 1:3. This is the empirical formula of ethane. Let us take example of H2O2. This is the formula of hydrogen peroxide. The ratio of hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms is 2:2. That is 1:1. So the simplest ratio of hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms is 1:1. The empirical formula of H2O2 would be HO. The empirical formula gives the simplest ratio of the number of atoms present in the compound. Structural formula. I have mentioned this before only. For CH4, the structural formula would be like this. In this type of formula, it shows the linkage between the atoms. How which atoms are linked with what? It shows the linkage between the atoms. Let us take one more example, CH3OH. It shows like this, CH3OH. It is the structural formula. Now, the next one is Lewis diagram. This formula shows the sharing of the valence electrons between the atoms. Let us take the simplest example of CH4. Carbon has 4 valence electrons like this. Hydrogen has 1 valence electron like this, approaches the carbon, and the bond is formed like this. The hydrogen is bonded to carbon in this way. This is called as Lewis diagram. It shows the sharing of the valence electrons between the atoms. The last one is stick or bond length formula. The last one is stick or bond length formula. In this type of formula, let us take example of C5H12. This is an alkane. Structural formula we will write as like this, 5. For this carbon, another 2 valencies, hydrogen, 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 like this. At the end, it has 3 vacant valencies. Allot 1 hydrogen to each. This would be structural formula of this. Its name is pentane. 5 carbons and it is an alkane. So pentane. Pentane is its name. The stick or bond length formula would be like this. See, this is the stick or bond length formula of pentane. Here, each edge represents one carbon. Carbon, 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 5 number of carbons. And we have no need to represent hydrogen atoms in this type of formula. Functional group we have to mention, but there is no need to mention the hydrogen atoms like this.